Morning guys, and welcome back to Alan's Allotment. Thanks for all your likes, comments, dislikes and all of your support. I think we're up to about 920 subscribers now, so we're only 80 away from that 1,000. So if you're a regular watcher but haven't yet subscribed, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. It only takes a few seconds. Hit the little bell icon next to it, select all, and that'll alert you every time I put up a new video. Thanks for all your support guys. Right, so it's Sunday the 22nd of May 2022. So I've got quite a bit of an update again for you today. We've been coming up just a couple of hours a day. Again, little and often. Just doing a little bit, not sickening ourselves. But yesterday, my son Tony came up and absolutely smashed lots of work that I needed doing for me. Unbelievable. It doesn't look much on camera, as you'll see in a minute, but the work that went into it was absolutely immense. Just going to finish my cup of coffee and then we'll give you a look around. Moving on, you'll see now we've got a patio area out here, a bit of a patio, where we're going to have a barbecue in a couple of weeks. And this is what Tony done for me yesterday, or part of what he done for me yesterday, putting this down. If you remember, we had the flagstones all the way across the grass and all the way down here, and it was difficult for me to get the ride-on lawnmower across the top. I could cut the grass with the ride-on lawnmower in 20 minutes, and then it would take me 2 hours to trim between all of these flags because they were sitting proud, they weren't sunk in. And it was becoming an impossible task basically. So he lifted them all for me and put them down here instead. That he also then cut the grass for me, as you can see. Give you a quick update. These are the radish from the last time you've seen. You can probably now see the carrots in the bed that all came up. Good germination. I did sow them rather thinly, but it's worked out quite well. Spring onions are really coming along now. We potted some more of these strawberries up. These are the Frisian and Roman F1s. These ones here came from, and you can see we've got strawberries on the top ones. The lettuce is doing well as well. And these ones here came out of the strawberry bed over in the growing area, which I've been threatening to redo for long enough, but never got round to. But look at these kale now guys, in pots. Absolutely beautiful specimens. They're probably doing better than the ones outside in the beds. These 2 cabbages, we're going to harvest these now. They've done okay, not brilliant. Got ourselves a couple of new blueberry bushes because the 2 I had weren't doing too well, but they're getting too wet basically. I need to. I've got some perlite and some cocoa coir, and I'm going to and then mix it with ericaceous compost and repot these because they're getting waterlogged, and that's why they're not. I've also took some cuttings off those and put them into cocoa coir. But these blueberries here are the ones that are just recent acquisitions. These are the trees, all coming along nice now, and as you can see, the Golden Delicious is well in bloom. Right, as you can see, we're in the polytunnel now. All the flowers are starting to bloom. The peppers are looking awesome. The tomatoes, these were the same tomatoes as the ones I showed you right at the start. And look at the difference, they've doubled in size in just over a week. As has the aubergines, they have really come on in leaps and bounds. Plums are still growing away nicely on the crimson bonfire peach, peaches. You won't get plums on a peach tree. Again, aubergines, tomatoes and the flowers and the melons are doing really well as well. We pulled this garlic yesterday and left it to dry out, And as you can see, the bulbs are not that bad actually, because considering we're a month early. But the reason I've pulled these, I'm just going to dry them off and we'll use them, is because I want to get the rest of this bed dressed down with cow manure and get the rest of the halos in so we can finish planting up in here. These 2 cucumbers here are doing amazingly well. As you can see, all the flowers are all bursting out again, aubergine's doing well. Everything's coming along really nice in here. Into the chicken pen now, and you'll see that Tony also cut all of this for me yesterday as well. He gave it its first cut, and you'll see we've got a big pile of scrap wood over here. We're going to have a bit of a fire in an incinerator in here. It won't bother the hens, they'll keep out of the road. And all of this, with the exception of the little pallets on the bottom, is to be burned, and we'll show you where that came from now. So we're over into the growing area now, and as you can see, we've still got this problem with the weeds starting to come up again. And in the last video you've seen we started to harvest wood chips. And what you'll see now is we did harvest the wood chips, and we've also got all these grass clippings as well. And we've used enough to make 2 of these full compost bins up. But what you'll also notice is all the pallets have gone. So we broke the pallets down. We've had a bit of a tidy up round here. That's the bag that sat over in this corner, just cluttering the place up basically for nearly 12 months. So we moved everything into that top corner up there for now. And that's pretty much condensed now down into this. Still got this wood to sort through and stack away eventually. But what you'll see now is we harvested all the wood chips, and we've now started, Tony done this as well yesterday, or most of it. We've now harvested the wood chips, recardboarded and redressed most of this area. You remember there was docken leaves and weeds and everything. We dug the weeds out, redressed with cardboard, new wood chips. Harvested the underneath, new wood chips. And as you can see, I'm just in the middle of finishing this off. And this is what we put back at the start, and you can see that I'm now starting to top dress it with a couple of inches of this very fine wood chip, because it's very fine, it creates a better mat and suppresses the weeds better. I've got this in the polytunnel if you noticed, and it's been down for ages, and I think I've only had 2 weeds come through it. But what you'll also notice here is where those bags I've just been explaining were sitting, I've now built another compost bay here. On hinges, so we can just lift it out. I need to get in and line it with plastic, but that's another job for another day. Still need to get this area tidied up as well, but we're getting there, guys, we're getting there. Down here we cleared all of the weeds, as you can see, and then we built a new bed in this corner where we had an old rusty incinerator that was broken up. Compost bins, those plastic compost bins over there, and I thought this is like a 9-inch deep scaffolding board. I thought that's going to take some filling, but this is my own compost from last year, and all of this is the bedding out of the chicken shed that we put in, and we were throwing cabbage leaves on, tatey tops, all the greenery out of the garden from last year. And then we tried our best to layer it that we could, and used the wood chip and covered in chicken manure basically, and we just left it. We didn't condition it, we didn't do anything, we didn't cover it until the end of the year. I put a couple of plastic sheets over just to keep the worst of the rain off because it was getting soggy, and it's absolutely fantastic. And there was enough to 3/4 fill this, as you can see. I just want a couple of bags of manure, not cow manure, compost on the top. Rhubarb's doing okay. This one's a little bit sluggish, but you'll see this is where the trees were, and there was rubbish all the way down here. That's all gone now. And the reason I haven't put the top dressing on here is because I'm building another bed down here with scaffolding boards. Give me another little growing bed. And then we've even cleared all the rubbish that was down here, all those bags of weeds and everything that we were composting down in bags. They've all gone into a compost bin, but I've kept them all in one compost bin, and I know which one it is, so that we can compare it at the end of the year. I didn't want to mix the weeds in all of the compost bins. You can see we've cleared all of this down here. I need to get all of these 3 trees out of here and get them replanted. And this is the strawberry bed that we promised we were going to do for ever and a day. And this had dropped down to about here. And as you can see, that's a lot of compost. But again, this is my own compost out of the compost bin from last year. Absolutely fantastic. And the compost we put in there the year before had broken down even better. It was really, really good. But we put a layer of cardboard over the top of it after we weeded it. Then we put this on, and we just want a couple of bags of compost on there now, and that's this completed as well. And I still have this one from last year, which I can now take off the top into there, and there'll be more compost at the bottom. Again, it's lots of greens, straw from the chicken shed, wood chip and hen muck, all mixed together. Exactly what all this was last year, guys. And this is the one we emptied yesterday. And that's the start of it again. So, I'm going to crack on and get this finished. Right guys, it has been raining, just drizzling very fine, but we've now got all of this path finished, all round. And as you can see, it looks $1 million. It's lovely to walk on, and if your garden's pleasurable to come to, you'll come to it more often. So, I think you'll agree it's looking $1 million. The potatoes are all doing fine. Everything in that bed's doing fine, and I'm probably going to take the covers off this at some point next week and get those beans staked, because obviously the flowering, they can't get pollinated in there. I'm just going to take them off and let Mother Nature do what it wants to do with them. We'll see what happens. Absolute hundreds of strawberries going to be in here this year, but these are a one harvest and then they're gone. Some of the other ones that we took out of this bed and replanted at the start of the video are the perpetual strawberries, and they basically go all year round. And I don't think I took a one out of them last year. The slugs had them, the birds had them, everything, because they just sunk right down. It wasn't very well last year, and we didn't get round to getting that done. Oh, these few strawberries here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were actually growing in the path when we were doing the weeding, and I just dug them out and dropped them in there for now. I'll put them in a planter as well. We're going to harvest the lettuce today. Onions at the top. Garlic all doing well. And we've made a start on wood chipping this as well. I've run out of the wood chip now. We need some more. But you can see I've started wood chipping this now as well, just to make it all match. And in between the paths. Still need to do down here and all around this bed and all the way up there and all of that as well. Little and often, guys. That's me for today. I've had enough. That's another bit of work done. Another jobbed. Nice and tidy. All that rubbish gone from here. All of this side wood chip now. Still got all of this to do, of course, but all this side's being wood chipped. We've half weeded that bed. Made a start of coming round here to join up. 3 full compost bins now. All the way down, in between the beds. just got in the back of that greenhouse to sort out, and the rest of this area, once we get this compost moved down into the compost bay. So we've got the compost all moved now, all the harvested wood chips. We cut the grass again in the chicken pen, and we've layered this up, and as you can see, we're about half full with this one again that we just emptied and used to fill this bed and the one in the far corner that we made. So that's really good. I took a top off this one, and we're going to use this, and we turned that into here as well. We took the top off that and turned it into here, and we're going to use that to half fill these 3 pallet beds that we've made. Now these are the only 3 beds on the plot that I've levelled. And as you can see, we've cut boards underneath, we've lifted them and levelled them, and then I've had to cut slithers of wood up the side on an angle like that, and likewise, and then put a front board on. And we used the pallet wood from up there that we salvaged off all the pallets that were sitting here. So we've got a little bit more of the wood chipping done and made a start on here as well. I had already started putting chip down, but then I decided I was going to put these 3 beds here. So basically that's what I got done, plus getting the grass cut, plus making that compost heap and layering it with greens and browns and greens and browns all the way up, halfway full. And we've done exactly the same with these 3 here as well. So that's a good start, ready for next year's compost. Right guys, as always, thanks for popping along again today. Thanks for all your support, likes, dislikes and your comments. I really do appreciate it. I'm having my final cup of coffee and then I'm going down home for something to eat. As always, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.